tell you, damn, Elon was trying to make me rug hard today. Holy hell. That first link did not work. I think I played the song like 3 times. Had to like recreate the space a few times. But I think it's all good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait just a little bit as more people join so we don't end up recapping the same thing 5 times through. But yeah, it has been a long week for me. Very fun week though. There's a lot of work going on right now, and so it's grind season, that's for sure. Super fun though. But let's throw it to a few people who jumped up, and you guys can jump in for now and request up, and then as more people get in, I'll just go ahead and kind of run down a few things that I had. Don't have any like prepared speeches, but I saw a lot of different areas that people kind of wanted to get some updates on or hear some feedback on, and thought I'd go ahead and just share my perspective as much as I can. But let's throw it to I love how Tevi came in with the hand up ASAP, bro. He came sprinting to the stage with his hand up. But let's throw it to Pumpish, and then we'll go to Shadow and Tevi.
Yo, what's good, Cass? Just wanted to stop by, say what's up, say hello to everyone. What's good, Tevi? Don't worry, I won't keep your hands sore for too long. Just saying hello, and thank you. I'm excited to see what today's chat is about. And yeah, let's throw it to Shadow so Tevi's arm doesn't stay sore for too long.
Hey man, I just a little icebreaker. I know we're waiting on people to come in. I just want to let everybody know, just a public announcement. Barbie is the greatest movie achievement of our generation. I've been thinking about it all day, man. It was a life-changing event. I recommend everybody, and I seriously do mean this, everybody go out and watch that movie, man. We about to go see Oppenheimer tonight. Yes, we did it backwards, but bring on the pain. So let's see what this movie's about.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like I'm gonna catch Oppenheimer probably in theaters, and then I feel like Barbie might be that like in-flight movie that I end up watching one time and like really fall in love with it for some reason.
You're gonna regret it, man. If you don't see it in theaters, you're gonna regret it.
Damn. Well, all right. I'll get my my pink attire ready, and we'll hit both. I'll switch to the black for Oppenheimer afterwards, whatever. But let's throw it to Tebby, and then we'll go ahead and kick things off because I can't stay on for too long, unfortunately, today.
What's up? What's up? Well, I was hoping to be first, right? That was my thing. I figured I'd come up, throw the hand up before shadowing everybody else, and that was gonna give me first dibs. But no, I just want to come up, say hello to everyone, say hello to you, and actually, funny thing is when you said it's grinding season, it sounded like you said it's crime season. So I was like, oh snap, it's gonna be one of those days, huh? It's gonna be one of those days, huh? So all right, let's do it. Maybe you need a demon too. So that's all I got for now. Looks like everybody's here now, or most people, a lot of people are coming in. So just trying to buy you some time. That's all.
Well, Tevi, I appreciate you making this great break by saying that we're going to commit crime, and it is now crime season. Which, since it is a recorded space, I will have to say for the record that it is never crime season at Artifact, and there will never be a crime season in the future. But no, it's dope. I see Prez is up here. We'll go to Prez, and then we'll go jump right into it. And thank God it's recorded spaces because people can come back and listen to it. And one thing I will say before Prez. No, we'll get to Prez first, and then I'll go on a rant.
I don't want to keep you, man. We're all here to hear the official updates. So by all means, please continue with your thought.
I was gonna say this is that's the funny part. You even said the words too. But I think this will slowly be one of the last times I feel like we'll ever have to look to a community member for official updates. I think this is one of those areas that we're definitely trying to improve on, and we've got a few different projects, I would say, in the works that relate to that. Um, I'm really doing my best this time around to build off of what Tevi's request was last time, which was not to say the word things as many times, and then also to try to come with as much reasonable, actionable insight. And it's definitely fun because I feel like everybody does want to be part of this journey and understand where things are going. But then there is also the balance of partnerships and other uh, NDA secret thingies that I'll have to just make sure we toe the line on. But one of the updates I think people can look to if you really want to start to see just the tip of the iceberg is obviously how we started the upcoming events tab and changed some of the layout on the website. Um, those are obviously going to be there for a reason, and nobody would just create a web update like that just for funsies to throw it out there. And like I said, it's just starting of how we're going to make sure that things are a little bit easier for people to point to and say this is what's happening in the ecosystem. I think there was a lot of conversations over the past year across Web3 about dilution and ecosystems being complex and artifacts being in that group at times. And so I don't think that the concept of an ecosystem being too complex is where we're at right now. I think it's more of creating a better understanding. And as collections and artists create it more, it's really hard to see things slowing down because anybody who's seen artifacts trajectory from day zero to now, if you look at it, like there is no slow down, let me think about what's happening. It's really just always been focused about creating and building upon the IP that was created before, and then building upon the audience base and collector base and all that stuff. So same thing here. We're just at different stages. That's the fun part. A lot of the stuff we've seen from this past year are goals I would say people probably wanted to see artifacts do. I think there's going to be more things like that in the future for sure, but it's just going to be the matter of timing and making sure everything rolls out properly. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see more of the alignment between where this ship is headed and how people can also share that information. Um, Also know that a lot of people have talked about things like how how ecosystems tie together along those lines and what's important and what's not. And I think it'll be more clear to see that over time that each ecosystem relates to itself in like what the original kind of description of the promise was for the mint, and then along with that different opportunities that can come as the team builds out the IP and other aspects, because that's what one thing I think people just forget. It's kind of like if you look at Marvel or like Disney, like they don't forget about Mickey Mouse because they start working on Lucasfilms. They don't they don't stop the rides at Disney World because they all of a sudden acquired Marvel or want to build out animation studios. I think it's all about creating really that branding and building upon what we've already had out there, and that's the fun stuff that we're gonna see. There's definitely a lot of IP building within the works, and I'm excited to see more of that roll out. Oh man, I feel like this is such a dangerous way to let me speak because I'm like thinking about the million things that have been said over the past just a week alone, and then thinking about all the things how I'm supposed to phrase it. But look at Kuro coming up here with a little hand raise to save me. What's going on, man?
Yo, what's going on? Um, how's everyone doing? How are you doing, Cass?
Man, I'm doing good. I got back from seeing my family. I was in my childhood home in New Jersey, visiting some family, and I was also doing like work stuff, which it was like very full circle kind of moments. I feel like to kind of really remind myself where I'm at in life and whatnot. But yeah, what about you, man? That's such a very philosophical answer. I feel like probably too philosophical. Damn.
No, I get it. Um, but it's always good to take time away from the raging voices of Twitter. It's kind of special sometimes. It gets kind of wild. But I had some questions about IP stuff. I don't know if you guys saw the recent announcement from Yuga, the Made by Apes. Um, so Sassy Labs is behind that, and we're kind of looking at seeing whether or not we could get a call with Artifact to see if we can help kind of automate the IP rights stuff for you guys. So I don't know if that's a possibility, uh, but I would love to take a call and see what we could do to help kind of further along the process.
Yeah, definitely. That's it's definitely something we can chat about. So let's just talk and we'll set something up.
Awesome. I really appreciate that because, as you know, the only thing I want more than anything is clone visibility. Because clone visibility means creators win. And that's kind of what I like.
Yeah, speaking of IP rights and creators, I know that's a topic that we're definitely going to continue to build upon. Seeing a lot of cool updates in regards to how we're going to be able to just better explain some of the terminology and just make sure that people can just keep utilizing these tools, because I think it's clear now there's a lot of people doing 3D stuff, a lot of artifact creators going crazy, which is amazing, and it's kind of the whole point. It's a big part of the ecosystem to see people being able to just build and learn off of what's being given to them. Shadow, let's throw it to you.
Oh well, first before I go, I want to make sure you were done. I think everybody was just trying to be respectful, make sure you were able to say what you wanted to say. I know there's probably people that have questions. My question, we talked about a few nights ago, just kind of like I guess what are the what is possible, what is not possible when it comes to I guess just communication. I guess is probably the best way to put it. So I don't know if you are even the perfect person to ask, but I'll just go ahead and ask anyways. Um, I guess to start off kind of like with a light question, what do you guys think or feel about having maybe like updates or whenever like the next things are being announced first, like in a AMA type of setting in the Discord with holders, would that be an option or something that you think might be possible? That's pretty much the first question.
No, I think that stuff is possible. I think it's more about timing, though, especially with the people that everyone wants to hear from, which is the founders. And the reason why it's going to come down to timing is because those guys are as much operators as they are like artists and figureheads and everything else people kind of expect to see from them. So the danger that comes from chatting about things too early, as we've seen in the past. It can lead to misaligned expectations or possibly having certain aspects leak in ways that they probably shouldn't be leaked first. And it's especially like right now, I know a lot of people would want to kind of hear some of these updates and things like that more so from them, but I also understand from their perspective it's really not the time to try and get distracted and start hyping up what is all the work that's being done. And it kind of it's a double-edged sword for them, because I get it, like they're excited about what they're doing, um and everybody wants to talk about what they're working on, but it's also just a lot more dangerous at this level once you start to talk about these types of partnerships and these any sort of aspects of things that come with the growth. Yeah, but
So that's what. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say is we're trying to tie it all together where we can have those moments as well as other more just unified uh, updates and things of that nature. I feel like the reason why this is such a bad way to do it is because even myself, I'm thinking about all the things I want to mention, but I feel like there's a lot of different areas people want to kind of get updates or conversation points on. So I'm trying to cover as much as I can, like a succinct manner.
And we appreciate that. I mean, I know I don't speak for the whole community, but I at least appreciate that. I think just having a town hall period, even if there's not much to say, or even if you have to kind of like walk a very thin line, I think that's always better to have. But I guess I'll just go into just my second question, and I'll pretty much be done. It sounds like, and this is kind of like what my thought process was the whole time. It sounds like uh, you know, there's a lot of NDAs going on, and I have a background. I understand how serious that stuff is, and I understand that you can't really tell people anything until you get to like the finalized sign off from each party. That's the only time when things are actually like official. And so that's kind of what I was thinking has probably been going on, is that it's not more or less the fact that nothing's going on, or that you're, or if some people feel in the community as though you're not communicating as much, it's just the fact that there's so much red tape right now. We're not at the finalized steps yet, but obviously when we get to those steps, I'm pretty sure it'll be like a shotgun of news and AMA and FAQs and updates that'll probably go on for months on end. So that was pretty much all I was wondering. You pretty much answered that for me. I'll let Tevi go.
Yeah, I didn't know if Cass wanted to put any 2 cents in that before I jump in.
No, I think that was a pretty good assessment. And I think it's also important to note that a lot of the work that is done by the team, which is one of the aspects I've kind of learned as I've gotten, more deeply involved in going from, community members speculating on things to seeing how some of these ideas come together. There's a lot of future proofing, I would say, that is always happening, where it's not so much of concepts that are like, hey, we've got these upcoming events and that's all that's going to be focused on holistically. These guys are definitely taking calls in meetings and working on things or tinkering with ideas that might not even show up for another like 8 months. And it's really part of what has to happen though, if you kind of want a long-term vision that's going to play out in a way where we're going to have, different aspects and ecosystems. But yeah, that's all I wanted to throw in.
Cool. No, that's perfect. So I kind of wanted to go back maybe on a couple of things that you said, right? Like the one being, so obviously I was playing around and browsing the website, right? That's how I came across the upcoming event tab. And it sounds like it's a more recent update. And you don't have to say when it was or any of that's not really the point, right? But the point being that it's more of a more recent update, which if we're kicking these things off now, making upgrades to the website, there's probably in a not so distant future, these are getting activated. I guess my question would be, and go in, uh, and you can feel free to say can't even talk about that right now, and I'm perfectly okay with that. But are you able to talk a little bit about, as far as upcoming events, are these going to be um, uh, back to back type events, or are these all three? So like the eggs and the skin vials, like are these all different parts of the ecosystem being activated at the same time, or are they more like for the next foreseeable future, call it 6 to 9 months or 6 to 12 months? This is where the activations are actually going to occur, like where, like, yeah, where does that fall? Because obviously there's other things in the ecosystem that are not listed there, but just trying to get a feel for, like, we know Animus is coming, right? And that's, already been talked about towards the end of the year, but now we haven't heard about skin vials and the crypto dunks in a year, and they're in the same bucket as the eggs, right? So I guess to try not to overly speculate, because that's what we're gonna do, right? As soon as we get off here, we'll go and speculate and figure out and create a bunch of theories. But like, are these gonna be concurrent events, or back to back type events?
So I would say, yeah, there's a, let me, because you had a few different ways you asked the question, and now I'm trying not to confuse my answer to all of them. But uh, what I would say is don't speculate too heavily on the dates and orders of the upcoming events, just because the big thing is we're never going to try and have like any update outshine another or try to distract to where it wouldn't make sense for us to make it so confusing that people can't even understand like what just happened, because as we all know, each aspect has its own story and its own collector base that has been around and experienced different things. So I think the best advice I can give at the moment is just make sure everybody's careful about links out there that are sus. We all see it with Twitter as of late. Like there's just going to be even more links, I think, in the future of people spreading fake things. So just remember to always go through the main RTFKT.com website, and bookmark those actual accounts. Do it for every Web3 project you're into as well, because I know a lot of us are into a lot of different things. So don't don't get drained out there.
And maybe one last quick one before Kira jumps in, if I can. It's regarding like the way the ecosystems, that tab is lined up, right? So we have the clones, then we have monolith and skin vials, the pods, and then the creators. I do recall that way back earlier when the pods were released, the animation around that was really based on, like a full ecosystem being built out, right? And there was initially the space pod and then the loot pod, but if we go back and watch that video, there's blank squares, right? Like a map, and you could see that it expanded further beyond. So now thinking about how this is laid out, and maybe touching on one of the comments that you made earlier, it does sound like these are the four big lane that Artifact is building upon. And kind of going back to your Mickey Mouse analogy earlier, is it fair to, and I wouldn't even say assume, but is it fair to say that each one of these are moving forward or going to kind of be the four distinct ecosystem that Artifact is going to be building out, and that's essentially going to be the structure? They're going to be linked, but they're also their own entity, and then that's kind of how the team is building moving forward.
Yeah, I think that concept of linked but their own entity is probably the best analogy. But at the same time, one aspect that I I'd like to just make sure people understand is we're definitely understanding of that it's not so simple as siloed ecosystems, and so lots of conversations about ways to reward our collectors and active contributors and other aspects like that. But like I said, these are the times to make the dope things and then show it later. But when it comes to the building of ecosystems, I think the biggest concept people got to remember is like, why would any of the items completely disappear from the building? In my opinion, for like IP purposes, a lot of the concepts with being digital art and having digital assets, it means that you can continuously kind of build and create new storylines or utilize things in storylines. How that utility plays out, that's where it's important just to make sure you're aligned with what is said during the mint or as we make updates. But uh, yeah, I don't see any of these futures where like CloneX all of a sudden doesn't have any existence as an IP in Artifact, or Animus doesn't exist as an IP in Artifact. But it's just a process of building out a lot of these different elements. So it's not easy, but it is going to be fun to see it happen and watch it all grow. Kuro, let's throw it to you before I start saying things that I shouldn't.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you mentioned the process. After seeing the Ramoa bags, um, I fully trust the process. Like, usually I'd be super vocal, asking questions and making demands and stuff, but like now I get it. Like, they're working. Okay. Like, this bag is phenomenal. It's just so pristine, and like just like the experience of opening up the box, like all of this stuff takes time, right? So I think right now for us, what we got to do is to continue using what we have, which is our clone files, and building out, whatever it is. Like, we've been introduced to a couple of neat things through Bad Take, and I think as far as like, the next year's concerned, I don't see any problem in waiting for them to do what they need to do, because like if you receive the clothing, very high quality, a lot of attention to detail with how that was deployed, and like all of the Ramoa stuff is just so gorgeous. Like, I don't know, I kind of feel like we need to, as a community, we need to focus more on like helping expand the clone tools suite, like getting different backgrounds in there, different animations, different poses. um I can't remember exactly what that Unreal app is called right now, but I think it was yesterday that we were introduced to it. I think we have an opportunity here to kind of push clones out into like different platforms like TikTok and stuff like that. And I think as we continue to explore what we can do with our files, and we start to get more, like if you go to the Bad Take Discord, it's just a lot like less hectic. Like, there's 100,000 people in the Artifact Discord, and it's like it's too hard to communicate sometimes. Like, the communication is great there, right? Don't get me wrong, but like when you want to focus on like learning how to pose your clone or whatever, it's really cool that Beb is inside of the Bad Take Discord, and you can chat with him. And just, I think if we focus more on the creating and exploring clone visibility, and like just helping support the creators like Ali that are putting out really cool activations, um, it will kind of like lessen the FUD. And you know as people start to realize that the IQs as modeling your line, a look at things like Clone Force and Metashima and just like all of the smaller ecosystems that are being built around the project and what you can do with it, in terms of like storytelling and even just some sort of interactive stuff on TikTok. We sent the developer of that Unreal app the TikTok API, so hopefully there is some sort of exploration we can do with their AI tool set and the third party tools that they have tutorials for, and we can kind of get some more clone visibility while we wait for things to be expanded upon. I think they're gonna have like really good, like after seeing like the whole Animus website, I kind of, and like the Pods website, like all that stuff has been really detailed and stuff. I think it's just like, we need more thread writers like Shadow, or we just need more threads from Shadow. We just gotta bully him into doing it or something. I don't know. We're still trying to figure. Me and Subscriber are gonna break him down eventually. But yeah,
Now, Kara, I'm on that wave of getting especially more clones onto some of the other platforms and building IP outside of just Twitter, because we can get a little siloed with these algorithms, and there's literally no point. Like, all of us make so much work that it's just kind of a waste to only let it be spread on one platform. But that you did bring up a few things that I know I wanted to touch on. I think the shipping stuff was the first part, because I know there's still some people waiting on season 1 stuff, and definitely going to have more batches going out, and related to that, as well as things like the pants and jackets will be going out as well over the coming weeks. So if you guys see any DHL notifications or requests from the team to update your information, please just reach out if you have any questions. I know one of the questions people had about shipping as well, because we do have things like crypto kicks coming and AF1s. Those are all definitely independent of each other. So, season 1 delivery, like you noticed, some people had their Ramoas before their season 1 stuff. We obviously don't want that always to be the case, but we're just working through the headache that is making sure that everybody gets their drip, even though, we know a lot of lessons will be learned for that in the future releases. But yeah, so when it comes to crypto kicks and AF1s, those are still on the original target that they had with August and I think October or fall for AF1s. And then the other part you had mentioned, Pearl, that reminded me was the creators, which I always got to remind people that there's definitely 1,000 and a thousand different ways. I think we're talking about and working on ways to help build out the creator program. And yeah, I'm just excited. It's all stuff that's going to keep building and boiling over, and more people will continue to get opportunities. Can't guarantee everybody's going to see their opportunity right away, but I'm excited for the stuff that's coming for those who have been doing a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, it's all, yeah, it's all the timing right now. I really wish this was this is going to be one of those spaces in 2 to 4 weeks. It'll be a lot more fun to look back on some of the things that I'm trying to allude to, because you'll be able to you'll be able to understand at least on some things, and it'll keep happening as the weeks go by. So I think that's the one thing, patience is definitely appreciated. I understand it's a journey being part of this Web3 stuff, and feeling like you see all of the things that we could be doing day by day, and not necessarily feeling like you see the changes. But yeah, it's all all works in progress and a lot of stuff behind the scenes. But I'm excited to see where we're headed. So yeah, that's all I got. I think if I have any other random items, I'll shout them out as well. But like I said, y'all, I really want the days of um, community members writing threads or providing like town hall updates like this being the main substance for when the updates come, because we're not gonna have the same things that we had in 2021. So we want to be better than that anyways. All right, Tevi, let's throw it to you.
No, a couple of things. I think that was awesome. You touched on a lot of the things that I wanted to make sure that you did cover, because I know that's what, you know, myself included, wanted to hear about, right? Like the shipping situation, what's going on near term, midterm, long term. And you did drop a little bit of a gem, which I appreciate. You did it nonchalant, but you said weeks, not months. Things will make sense in the coming weeks, so I appreciate that. We'll leave it that there. And I think Kuro also dropping some really good solid points about the focus on the creators and what we've been doing, right? So obviously, I think we all know that the team is not just sitting on their, you know, and not doing anything, for not throwing some bad words out there. So I think all hearing all that, like this space right now is super cool, right? Because we're a lot of the things that people are thinking about is essentially what you're reiterating, and that's helpful to hear versus us just making it up in our minds and, you know, and telling ourselves that's what it has to be. So to kind of hear that, I think makes sense. The only other topic that I know, and you know, I'm kind of making myself the ambassador for a lot of people that have been asking about this stuff, is the pill.
I knew it. I
I
was
think
about
that
to say it too. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, there's one on the tip of my tongue, but nah, it's all good. It's all good.
You guys didn't
Um,
tell me there's all these legends on this chat. What the hell? Why I'm not
you're
going to the spaces often?
subscribe. We just gotta make sure you see them in the chats. We gotta start throwing them in there more. But to give the answer on that, the pill announcement, we wanted it to be something more than just a Twitter thread. And there's yeah aspects that we wanted to make sure it was rolled out in just a cool way for everyone. Um, I will yeah we're definitely going to have that as an item of things you can say you'll see answers on soon. Um, yeah, just excited to see things like this roll out as well, because it's yeah, it's gonna be fun. It was a cool concept that really kind of developed more as we realized that we had so many people. We had to make sure we're a part of it. I can definitely can definitely say it's going to be fun to see it all come together. Uh, maybe I was gonna share something, but I think I'll just wait until like we really give the some of the
yeah,
sauce.
no, you can leave it there. Like I said, I'm for the record, because this is recorded. I'm chilling, like I'm good, like that. But I know that again, talking to a few folks, that has been a constant topic, right? So I just wanted to make sure that using this opportunity to kind of touch on that and providing that that reassurance and whatnot. And you know, at the end of the day, again, I know we have you in a pretty tough spot here, so I appreciate you not saying things and navigating today like a boss. So well done.
Well, last thing I'll say about the pill is it's the start of what ways that Artifact is trying to creatively reward active contributors. Um, it is not going to be the same every time, but the concept of creating unique rewards for people who've been doing a lot of dope stuff for the community is always being worked on, and this one especially, I think people underestimate, but especially anytime there's partnerships, it's going to take a lot longer on certain aspects. But then there's also just the cool part that Murakami is working with Artifact on a lot of different things. So this is a fun, cool aspect that I think he's adding in, and he's still, yeah, he's still a very. I think it's already known with Animus. He's had some of his handiwork thrown in there, which I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, just dope to see this brand and this community keep growing, y'all. I don't want to get too hyped, but sometimes I do look up and I'm like, damn, this is just a crazy story right now, because I'm ready to see how things pan out over the next few years. I know Artifact's gonna do some cool shit, so that's why I'm here, riding along, getting to see all of the aspects, and hopefully keep you guys informed along the way.
Man, all I'm gonna say is if you're excited and the team is excited, then I'm excited. So, and I know that a lot of us feel that way. Um, so, despite all the noise on the timeline sometimes, and like I said, you know, just I just want to say thank you for pushing through the noise and building what you guys have been building. And honestly, to like all the creators, everybody that's been doing their thing, like the reality is, and maybe a little bit of perspective here is this period of quiet where Artifact is not pushing and throwing a bunch of stuff out there. That's the reason why we've been, partially been able to see a lot more of people's individual works, right? Like coming to the surface and not being overshadowed or by some of the bigger Artifact stuff, and really focusing on the creators. So I think that in itself is probably not getting as much credit as it deserves. But think about all of the creators who have, and the fact that we've been pushing the creator page and highlighting the people within the community doing their thing. So if nothing else, I wanted to say that that's one of the biggest utility and advantages of these last 6 to 8 months that have been fairly quiet on the main Artifact front. It has given the opportunity for a lot of people to get more light shed on them. So I wanted just to say that, and again say thank you.
No, it's I'm just one part of a group of people, a lot of talented people doing cool stuff. But I think the one thing that you said that really stood out to me is really about the creator aspect, and creators kind of filling the gap in between major announcements. I think that's always going to be the place, even as we start to get more official ways that updates are coming, because I think I actually said this to Ollie when I was talking to him one time, but it should be clear at this point that Nike has this thing where they're always championing athletes, and that's kind of like what they build their brand around. And for Artifact, it's obviously creatives and creators, and so anybody who is like interested in creating things or being part of the Artifact creators ecosystem, like there's definitely going to be opportunities. It's always going to be on the table. The more you're doing and being a part of it, it's easier to get seen, obviously. But even if it's just incorporating your own like interests and lives into what's happening, I think that's exactly what works best. I don't think anybody should come to social media trying to force themselves to do something they don't want to do. So yeah, find a way to tell your story, and should make sure to tag that tag that account. Who knows how those things will lead, but we're working on a lot of those different aspects, and that's why you've seen the creators webpage having updates pretty regularly. But it is just the start, y'all. Like I said, grind season. This is definitely not the time to start hyping up all the things that have been worked on, because we're right there to show everyone soon. But yeah, I just try that. I think that's the first time I said the word soon. This whole spaces. I was really doing my best, because I know there's some people. Shout out to Cook and Jack. But I know there's some people who hate that word, and I don't want to trigger anybody. But I'm just, I'm using what limited vocabulary I have. Okay. Let's throw it to subscribe, and then we'll throw it to Shadow.
Oh yeah, you guys enjoyed the hand. Okay. Um, yo, Cass, I really want to know, like, how are you feeling, man? Like, I know that everybody been asking for all these updates. Like, how are you feeling? How's the founders feeling? Like, you guys got to touch grass, maybe some ocean.
Man, touching grass at this point might not be something a lot of people are doing. I think a lot of people they try to. I think there's a general like acceptance for like wellness and like keeping like mental sanity in Artifact. Like it's everybody's welcome to live their life, but if I'm gonna say that people like actively partake in that, that might be a different topic. And no, I think it's really just one of those scenarios where nobody, yeah, anybody that works at Artifact, for the most part, they don't have to work there. Like, they have some sort of had either opportunities in their other careers, or wherever they came from before, that was probably good enough if they really wanted to just chill and not have like a stressful environment of creative energy to work in. Like, they don't have to do it, but it's just kind of known as, especially as people start to see like the projects that are being worked on in the back end, and things that will not see the light of day for maybe a year plus. Like, it's some of those ideas that you just, yeah, I don't know. I get into meetings sometimes. I just have to like shake my head, because it's kind of amazing. But yeah, it's the opportunity to do something really big. That's all. And I think everybody kind of gets that, and that's why there's so much passion and dedication to it. But yeah, man, in terms of how people feel, I feel like it's artistic group, so it won't be a good feeling until everybody feels good about it. So
Bro, I'm
yeah,
chilling. Every other project, I'm just asking question, but here, I can feel like I can ask you how you feeling. You know what I mean? So,
I
hey,
appreciate
much
that.
love. Thank you for throwing the space.
Wow, that's what a beautiful set of questions. People aren't coming with the "Hey, win this." They said, "Man, how are you feeling?" I feel like it's a trap too. I feel like I gotta, I gotta say something of worth too, because I can't talk about my feelings. Not in this, not in this season of grinding. Let's throw it to Shadow.
No,
Oh yeah, let's throw it to Shadow and then Tabby real quick, and I gotta jump off here in a bit. Yeah, I got some things got to jump on, unfortunately.
Yeah, so before all the good stuff comes out, maybe not in like 2 to 4 weeks from now. My question is, will we have these town hall? Is these are because I really don't know the answer to this question. Are these town halls just kind of like during like a temperature check, or are they like scheduled once a week? Because I personally think they're nice, even if we walk away with no real new news other than hey guys, things are coming, we're still here, check in, cool. Like, I think that's still good, every week if possible. But I just wanted to ask, if is there a set time for these town halls in the future?
Yeah, I can definitely set a scheduled time. I think the only issue I had, I've been hosting spaces for a while in the community, and it feels like sometimes, as you guys all know, in Web3 or just in life, not every week is going to have some amazing news or updates, and I don't want to be the person that's like necessarily saying just soon, soon, soon. It's not really beneficial, and so that's why sometimes it is, to your point, Shadow. I do want to make sure sometimes we do have them, just so even if people want to kind of bring up points or kind of make statements about areas that could be improved, like those moments are always crucial, and I think it's always good to have those forums. But I also don't want it to become something that people feel like they're not beneficial and it's just pandering. So
Gotcha. All right. Well, no, that's good. I mean, whenever they are, I like them. I do agree with you. Maybe once a week, maybe be too much. Maybe when we got a lot of stuff going on or happening, and people have questions, just to make sure everybody's clear on everything as things, start coming out. But yeah, I like them. Um, yeah, I'm pretty much just chilling. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody knows I'm most excited for Animus. But yeah, I'm still just chilling, man. I know you probably know the answer to this, but um, you don't have to say or anything. But I really hope maybe we got some talking Animus. That'd be kind of cool, 3D file wise. I know you know the answer, but it's all good. We'll find out. That's it.
We need the answer because Shadow is gonna write a dope thread for us. I'm looking forward to that, Shadow.
Yeah, it'd be a mega thread on what is possible if Animus does talk, and then part two will be like twice as long about if Animus don't talk. Here's how it's still going to be awesome.
So I think the awesome part about Animus is the potential for the IP, regardless of the talking non-talking part. I think the 3D files aspect will be a fun discussion once we get to that aspect. And as you guys have seen with the clone 3D files, we definitely put work into that. It is not a just snap of the fingers, here you go, you got all your files set up for you kind of situation. So it is really fun to see how much detail has to go into some of these projects. But I think in general with Animus, the fun part is definitely just like clones, like the potential for people to see something that inspires them or gets them excited about just what's happening in this ecosystem. I think Shadow, you've obviously hit the nail on the head with some of the Pokemon stuff from the emotional aspect, because it's really cool from just what those kinds of like legacy IPs have done for childhoods and other people, and just how they connect with them. Yeah, so I'm excited to see how that stuff develops. I don't want to set any expectations, and that 2 to 4 weeks comment, please, you can just erase that shit from your memory, because I don't even know what I was referencing those numbers to. So anybody listening, oh, Jesus, please don't don't hold me to that, whatever that might have been.
And if nothing happens in 4 weeks, we're all going to riot, bro. So, no,
I
I'm just
mean,
playing.
It is recorded. It is recorded. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I think it's good that you put that circle back around and put it could be, it could not be, and I think that's perfectly okay. I think we're just I think I said it earlier, it's good to know that yeah, it's like as you said, it's grind season. You touched on the CRLs are still coming, that's still on track, and that's kind of where we are. So I think we're good.
Yeah, and I just take cast with my all my theories and speculation, and anybody that reads them. First of all, thank you for taking the time to read it. But it is all just speculation, man. At the end of the day, even if zero of them are true, I just want to just do my part in just getting the ideas flowing and the conversations going, because I think it's going to be like a sleeping giant that's going to sneak up on some people, but I definitely don't want it to sneak up on people who are already in the ecosystem, right? Like there's with the last Pokemon one, and I'm glad that it sounds like you did read it. That one for me was like a everything is there, right? I was doing a lot of research really on the Pokemon side of like how did Pokemon attempt to be what Pokemon is today? And they basically just started off. I mean, the short version is they just started off with the idea of how can we make an IP that can grow with the current kids of today, even when they're adults, and it was successful. So yeah, man, I think it's awesome stuff. Web3 needs a Pokemon, and I think we got it.
I think you guys are chilling on Digimon too much. We got an egg that hatches to like a Digimon looking thing. And I'm really excited for Merging Worlds. You know, one of my favorite episodes is this thing where they have the as above, so below kind of thing where, you know, above got this, there's a world that it brought Digimon into the real world. And it's kind of very similar to this whole Animus thing. Like, how are we going to merge the world, right? Yeah, like something like Pokemon Go going. I don't know, AR is pretty interesting. Yeah, merging worlds. That's an interesting topic. Cass, you got anything on that?
Yeah, if I had to say something, it would be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon. Um, Digimon is last place for me, but no, no, the merging world stuff. That's always real. Y'all understand the vision of what Artifact's doing. I think I've said it before. You know, a lot of people are on point with what might be coming. Some stuff might just be a little bit different details or timing, but a lot of the ideas we all have are usually pretty similar. Uh, what was I gonna say? There's something. I think it might have been about the 4 weeks thing, but I'm just gonna let that one die because, yeah, I'll just let next month's news come when next month's news comes. But the one thing I was gonna say, I think it was in relation to just any of these general updates, is that a lot of, like, the warning I said with the fake websites. We want to make sure that nobody's gonna run into getting scammed and stuff. So, like, you don't have to stress about trying to 20 minutes rush to go click some links and get whatever you need to get. We're gonna make sure there's plenty enough time for people to understand what's happening and how things are supposed to work. So just please keep that in mind, because yeah, there's mad hacks out there. Let's throw it to Dre Mill and then Curl real quick, and I think we'll have to wrap it up because I gotta jump here in a minute. But Dre Millie, what's good, brother?
Yo, what's good? I'm gonna be 100% honest with you and everyone here. I really don't have much of anything quality to say. I just joined the stage so I can engage my farm. I was trying to think of something to say while I was up here that could be meaningful and all that good stuff, but man, I got absolutely nothing. So thanks for
Hey,
allowing me.
well, you bring up something I wanted to say, because I think I said it in a different spaces. But I am definitely making if we're gonna make a chat called Farmers Only, and it's gonna be purely dedicated to engagement farming on other platforms. So that was the update that I had there. We'll get that sorted. I forgot to do it last Friday. We're not gonna forget to do it this Friday. Um, so yeah, let's start to Kuro, and then we'll go to Iswain.
Okay, I got a question, and this might have reverted a little bit um, past what I said earlier, but so these shoes that I got pinned up at the top here, so I got a question. Is Artifact going to be making Bored Ape artifacts and Azuki artifacts and lots of artifacts? I like to push the envelope here, but I didn't make those shoes. You know who made them, and I'm just trying to figure out when I'm going to be able to purchase them, because I haven't asked when in like 6 months, and it was bothering me. And then somebody called me, and they were like, "Yo, ask about the the Bored Ape artifacts," and I said, "You know what? I got an itch to scratch." So, when, sir?
Yo, I just gotta say, shoes and any sort of product in general is a dangerous question. You're trying to get me to answer things that I definitely,
You're supposed to rug, bro. That
yeah,
was your opportunity to
I
rug,
rug
bro.
on
That
that.
was a setup. That was an alley oop, bro. You're supposed to dunk on me and just rock.
Damn. Nah, I mean, yeah, I can't really say anything, man, because like I said earlier, with partnerships or any of that stuff, it's just super complicated, and you get into any of those details, or I start saying anything, I'm gonna get the 2 to 4 weeks comments. One thing, y'all can roast me about me accidentally saying some random dates that mean nothing, but me saying this will happen with this da 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 da. Oh boy, I don't want to do. I don't want to deal with that.
All right, guys.
That
So now
headache.
we know the questions we gotta ask. Let's get a chat going and
Oh
let's
shit.
figure out what to ask this guy that won't get him in trouble, because I'm problematic. I'm just full of trouble.
Yeah, man. I wish I could be the person that gives up all this fun info. I just get to be the person that gets like to almost get to do that. I guess I don't know. Anyways, let's do it to Wayne, bro. Wayne, you know what? Save me, my guy. Save me on this last few minutes of this space.
I'm sorry, my guy. I don't think I'll be the one to save you here, cause. But listen, I just wanted to sort of maybe provide some clarity between some aspects of the ecosystem that might be linked. So you don't, of course, necessarily have to sort of give a response to this, but it was just more for clarity purposes. So we recently had Exodus, right? And Exodus was mainly linked to pods. That's correct, right? So we also know that Exodus was also linked to eggs, right? So with the discovery that Tevi found with the whole eggs sort of event coming up, is it safe to consider that the eggs event is linked to Exodus, or is it just literally a standalone? Are you able to share any information around that? Or
So let me think about the question, because you're talking about how these ecosystems are linked. What I would like to say is that it's best for me to just let the official communications occur on that. But yeah, I think that's the safest thing for me to answer with at this point without yeah, without giving up too much information that might
yeah,
not be ready to share.
yeah, nah, that's what I thought. No, I appreciate it. Thanks, bro.
Damn, Wayne, you really you gave it even more polite than Kuro, and it more specific of a question that I could not answer. Woo!
I mean, he told
Love
you
it.
he's not here to save you. He told you
He
straight
at
up.
least he was honest too. He was like, nah, I ain't gonna play, bro. Look, well, okay. Any last questions? Who's got one? No, that's
I do have one
yeah.
last question. So this is going back to season one. Um, are we able to get a formal update from the team? So it's been more vague, like in the coming weeks, blah blah blah. But are we able to get a formal? This is how much has gone out. This is what we're still working on. Where does the Murakami stuff fit along with the pants shipment? Like a little bit more structure around what's still in the works, what's actually formally going out, and kind of what we're working with. Obviously, I'm looking at timelines, and I know I'm not getting my stuff before I jump on the plane. So that's cool. But if we can get a more general, official update from the team on that, I think that would be appreciated by myself for sure, and I'm sure a lot of people out there.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be easier to do that at the start of next month or so, just because I think with the last few weeks of this month, we should have a lot more of that out. But also that being said, I agree. it's good to keep some of those last people who've been waiting updated, because I definitely understand it sucks to see other people get their packages and then you might be waiting on yours. So it's really just one of those pain points I think we all understand that we got to work through, and it's not going to be solved until we get everybody's stuff out to them. So we're just going to keep working through that and making sure that if anybody has any issues, we get those sorted. But yeah, I'll definitely make sure we get something over the next few weeks in terms of an update in regards to the status on those shipping items. But yeah. Yep. I love it. Yeah, I'm excited. I feel like eventually we'll have to do like low-key like recaps, so I can try to like go back and reference areas where I was stuttering and thinking about things, and then explaining why I was stuttering and why I couldn't say it. But that'll be fun when we get there. So in the meantime, if there's no other questions, I think I'm gonna jump off. Y'all keep crushing it. I know there's probably gonna be a Bad Take Spaces later tonight, and there's been a bunch of other dope spaces from a whole lot of dope people. So shout out to all you clones out there. As Crow says, clone visibility. Shadow, what's going on? Man, look, I was about to give you the last word if you want it. We can.
Just rugged, man. Just rugged after this question. All right. So, Animus shoes, can it happen?
I appreciate y'all showing up. We gonna keep building. I have no idea what Shadow even asked, but she's been great, y'all. Thank you for joining in. Go drink water, touch grass, have a good weekend.